Yo, Crypto Nation and mining family, what is going on? What up, what up, what up? What's up, all you happy hashers out there? What is going on, everybody? It's almost the end of the week, guys. We have made it almost to the end of the week. How is everybody? Don't forget to smash that lizard like button, subscribe, hit the bell notification, and all that good stuff. You know what to do as you guys slide in. You know the drill. It's the same everywhere. Helps me out on the YouTube algorithm and all that good stuff. Share this out on your favorite socials. Helps me out too. You know, be able to outreach to more of you awesome people. So what is going on, everybody? I know people are probably just getting off of work and all that good stuff. What's going on, the dude? What's up? What's up? I hope everybody liked the couple of videos that I have just recently uploaded, like my rearranging of the mining room, and of course, got like a little side project of chickens. So I did a whole recorded the whole thing of me putting together a little chicken coop, including, it's like, editing out all the little stupid stuff. Had some friends came by. We were sitting there shooting sitting there chit-chatting for a little while. And then I got back to, it was like about an hour and a half, almost 2 hours worth of putting it together. Cause, I was actually reading the instructions, and thank God I was, because it wasn't like 100. It was like straightforward, but not like 100%. There was like some things I was like, huh? And then you look at the thing, you're like, oh, okay, which bolts? And that was like the main thing that I was like looking at, was which bolts I had to use for which pieces. So got that together. Once we are in the spring and it's no longer winter anymore. I know spring is right around the corner and stuff, but it's the ground's still cold, still miserable out there. So as soon as things start warming up a little bit outside, I'm going to expand on that chicken coop, and I'm going to make a big chicken run in there, and give the chickens some more room, and I'll video all of that good stuff, guys. So if you guys are interested in that stuff, certainly check that out. I'll put it all into its own little subcategory. So, if you want to watch it, cool. If not, sitting there playing around with the editing stuff. And I've got some 3D print stuff that I've got to catch up on too. So there's some video backlogs that I got. I will have coming out here soon. So hopefully everybody's gonna appreciate all that stuff. What's going on, Wheeling Crypto? As y'all start sliding on in, don't forget to smash that lizardy like button, guys. Yo, that's right, guys. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and get crack-a-lackin' into today's topics. Yo, markets are doing good if you're in Bitcoin. As long as you don't look at anything else, Bitcoin's doing wonderful. S&P 500's down a little over a point. NASDAQ is down a little over a half a point. Dollar index is down almost 0.75%. The Dow Jones Industrial Average, the Dow Jones, you're gonna be looking at 1.27%. That's also gonna have some of the banking stuff in there. The Russell 2000 is down almost 2.75%. Bitcoin is on an absolute tear right now, sitting there over $27,000. What did I tell you guys just yesterday? If we can close out above the end of the week above 25,000, we will see 30,000 by spring. Remember, spring's just around the corner here, guys. We are rapidly approaching that, as well as a $30,000 Bitcoin. That is like absolutely amazing on there. Now, Why is the dollar index going down? Well, they just basically said that they will insure all banks, not the banks themselves and not the investors, but the holder, the people who are holding their money with those banks, that they will not allow them to be collateral damage with a bank that's depegging itself, which that puts extra pressure on dollars, and it's also going to usher in a couple of other things, and I will touch upon that also, guys. That there's interesting stuff that's going to be coming up with that, with these banking collapses, and the government taking over these banks. It's not like a third party coming in and a new bank coming in going, I'll buy it. Government took over. That has some interesting stuff to go along with it. We'll definitely dive into that stuff here. And as we're sitting here looking at stuff, man, I love it when a plan comes together. So we are now in a healthy market territory, guys. Bitcoin's trying to bobble between, depending on where you're looking at. Depends on where you're, what the dollar, what Bitcoin is hitting at. With Bitfinex, it's a little bit of a lagging indicator on this chart, which I'm perfectly fine with slowing down the indicator just a little bit, and it kind of helps level off my timeline a little bit. Some people want to see rapid movement. Again, I tend to look at the daily chart on this. I don't zoom in particularly. So, I mean, if somebody were to, zoom in, we'll see it sitting there fluttering right around that. And you see how you zoom in, and now we've got a higher number. In real time, we are at 27. We're over 27,000 right now. For Bitfinex, they are just under 7,000. So, if you're trying to arbitrage a little bit on the way up, this is how you do it. You can sit there, buy on one exchange, move it to an exchange that is over 27,000, sell it, start wash trading. I don't recommend it, but this is how this is how you do it basically. So it's like, but that's why I don't zoom in so hard on these charts. I usually keep myself at the day. It'll show on the exchange side that it's a little bit lower, which is fine by me. But it's showing me the real-time price. It is over $27,160 right now, fellas. Yo. I did not hear that. Nana. What? I'm not understanding what that was. What you're talking about, Alex? See here, wheeling, laptop memory, by 8 PCIe lanes. Sorry, guys. Cat likes to play around at my feet. So let's see here. I need a all-in-one mobile for server case for GPUs. Any suggestions? Prices from $100 to $300 for DDR3 motherboard miner, laptop memory. Yeah, that's how most of those are. Wheeling Crypto. I don't really have any particular ones that I say are good or bad. It's like you want to it's all about which laptop CPU they're utilizing. So if you go with a cheaper CPU, know that updating is going to be painfully long. And you might have failed updates. But if you go with a little bit of a better platform, you'll never even notice it. You'll be able to update as normal. Just know that, and that if you're wanting to do proof of useful work, The motherboards will not work for proof of useful work. All the PCIe by 16 lanes are all by one technically. So they've only got by one bandwidth on each one of them, even though you're slotting them into the motherboard. So just kind of keep that in mind on what direction you want to go with your build out for going into server cases. So that would be my word of the wise right there. So yeah, just kind of keep an eye on that one. I mean, like I think I was paying like $100 for the ones that I was getting. So I mean, the $100 range for an all-in-one, you're doing good. It's not the GPUs you got to worry about. It's the motherboard itself. So if the CPU is slow, if the CPU is really slow to for its processing speed, updating the rig in any fashion is going to be painful. It'll mine the same. Once you get these things, you can mine with a 15-year-old computer. Okay, that is not the issue. If you wanted to, it's like you could sit there and pick up old computers, get a couple of U-bit 4-way splitters, slot those in there, and have a full 8-card rig off of it. I have videos in my archives of me doing exactly that, right? So it's not so much you got to worry about the CPU. It's not allowing your GPU to mine properly. It's how quickly is it, if you have to reboot the rig, how quickly is it going to come back? And then how quickly can it update? Because those are going to be your two times where the machine is running and it's not making any money. So, from a business standpoint, you want to have something that can be readily updated and is useful in the future. I always try to look for future forward thinking on everything. A lot of the equipment I bought was more than 2 years ago. Proof of useful work wasn't even a thing. So, it's like if you're just planning on doing regular old GPU mining, not worrying about proof of work, you could practically, it's like $100 solution. I don't have any particular one that I would say, yay or nay against. Don't get too cheap. I don't think you need to go all out, and get the most expensive thing out there. If you're trying to go all out and get the most expensive thing out there and you want the nicest all-in-one solution, look at the Octominers, bro. I mean, look at the Octominers and then price out all the parts individually that you think you need. And then look at the Octominer again and see if one might suit your need a little better. There's a reason why a lot of people go for the Octominers. I mean, I'm not trying to shill them. I don't have any links to them or anything like that. I have an Octominer. I like how they run. I like server cases. They are, just as easy to deploy as an ASIC. But yeah, I mean, add up all the pieces that you're going to need to get an Octominer, or all the pieces you need to get a server going, and then look at the Octominers and see if you're only talking about $100 price difference, there are perks with Octominers. You get a little bit more data readout, you get fan controls and stuff like that. Man, they're pretty nice. I'm just saying, they give you temperature, humidity readout right at the machine. So just take the prices of all the components. Add all the components up to make the server case. And then look at the Octominer and see if it's worth it to you. It's like, that's all I'm saying. It's like I have them going both directions where I've built my own. I have an Octominer case. I've, hodgepodged ones together. So, it can be done. It just depends on, does the motherboard go with the case? You know, it's like you got to be careful of the cases you're grabbing for the motherboard, yada yada yada. So just kind of keep some of that stuff in mind. That's all I'm saying. Um, but I've got a lot of different videos that I've gone over with putting together server cases. You know, you're a couple $100 on power supplies. You're a couple $100. You know, you're $150 on the motherboard solution that you're going to need on there. And then the case itself. I mean, when you're said and done, you know, you're $300 plus. I mean, realistically, without putting no GPUs in it yet, just building the case, you're $300 in minimum. Even if you're getting the cheapest of the cheap stuff. I think before the last mega bull run that we had, I was able to find all-in-one server cases, 4 GPUs for like $80. All I had to put in there was power supplies and GPUs. And it was like 65 to $80. I have not seen those deals coming out on eBay at all. All I see on eBay now are bare cases, completely bare cases now, going for $200. Nemesis, do you think that they will make the king of all GPUs for crypto mining? No. There's not gonna be anything like that because technology advances. That's why there's no king of ASICs. You know, technology advances too much. So as new tech comes out, it'll push the envelope in another technology, which will eventually trickle into this industry. So, no, I do not think that we are going to be seeing anything that's going to be really negatively, nothing that's going to impact the market where, you know, even if you have quantum computers, eventually there'll be an update for that. And eventually there'll be an update for that update. And then there'll be another one. And then another one. Technology will always push itself forward. You know, so you know, imagination is the limit at that point. That's really what it is. Imagination is the limit. So looks like we are getting more into the mining talk, fellas. Let's go ahead and jump right into some of the hardware stuff. I found a GPU that comes with, wait for it, 5 different fans. Yes, you heard me. 5 fans, guys. So the Maxsun RTX 40 MGG series, because 5 is better than 3. I mean, isn't it? I mean, more is better, right? Moore's law, right? Isn't that how it goes? Moore's law. But all puns intended. So it's hard to see in this little picture here because you got 3 definite fans on the front here, right? And then you're looking at the top of the GPU. You scroll down. I didn't see it at first either, guys. I swear to God, I did not see it at first. Not till I pulled this photo up. And if you look in the corners, right where it looks like it's a mechanics wrench here. So this mechanics wrench opening, at the each one of the wrench ends, there's a fan there. Yes, there are fans on the very top of the cooler stack here. Itty bitty little dudes. So they're so tiny. They're so poquito. They're cute. Yeah. Little itty bitty fans, guys. So yeah. I'm trying to be funny about this. So, but yeah, I mean, we have 5 fans on here. I've seen stuff like this before, where I've seen 4 fans. I don't know if I've ever seen 5 fans before. I think this might be the first time I've seen 5. No. No, Zotac did it. Zotac had a special edition on, I want to say, the 3090. There was a special edition 3090 from Zotac that had two smaller fans on the back side of the card to cool the VRMs down. So yeah, I have seen it, just not in this configuration. I'm more curious to know if it really makes a difference to have actual fans that be pulling the air up through. You know, it's like, what does it do? I mean, for maybe on the rear eye, on the where you plug in, you know, your HDMI cables and everything into, maybe back there, I can kind of understand trying to get the hot air to get out from underneath the cover there, because it's not as the heat pipes aren't as long, right? But to see them on the other side of the GPU, where it's already got a pass-through hole for the front fan to blow through, why do you need to have this fifth fan all the way at the end? To me, it seems like more that like they were trying to, it's like gimmicky. So maybe the first fan that's, you know, above the, you know, near the VGA core itself, maybe I can understand. Maybe like they're trying to help just get whatever heat might get trapped up into that little itty bitty area over there. Okay, I might be able to get behind that one. But all the way on the other side of the GPU, where they've already got the cooler that's a pass-through cooler, so the main fan on the front side's blowing through, what heat is being trapped that little fan is necessary for? I would rather see some fans, some hideous-looking fans on the backside of the VGA core itself, or on the PCB for the memory modules, right? I would rather see that versus what looks like to be more gimmicky style fans on there. It's like I don't know. I'm not sold on this. I'm definitely not sold on this. So, I mean, and it's even weirder is that it looks like there's, I don't know if this is like a different header on here, but you see the one GPU's got Mega Gamer on there, and it looks like your standard RGB backlight. And then this other one looks like we have LED dots on there. So I don't know if this is like changeable at all or something. I have no idea. Of course, this stuff's like probably this all looks like more like renderings more than anything else. And we'll probably see Mega Gamer, which is the MGG Max Sun. So it's the Max Sun Mega Gamer series. So very funny stuff. And we have announcements of the 4070 Ti FE card. After all, there looks like there is a Founders Edition that has been leaked, guys. Yo, check that out. So here we have photos of under the hood, guys. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. So 12 gigabyte 4070 here. I believe these are the 2 gigabyte per module. This is pretty much going to be your initial layout. I mean, they're not really changing too much for the PCB. on a lot of these Founders Editions. It's a lot easier for them to just make one PCB, make the die set to accommodate for that one particular PCB, and just change out the parts that are being plugged into it, change out how the power rail management is, make a high power, mid power, and a low power variations of it to accommodate all three versions that you're going to be planning on making. Very typical to see something like that. But interesting to see that, it's like we have with the 4070, we've got one power management rail coming in and feeding everything. We're going to see that in the lower power cards. You're not going to see, you'll see on like the 4080 Ti, you'll see 2 power rails on there, and then on the 4090 and the 4090 Ti, you're going to see up to 3 power rails feeding the whole card. This one's only got the 1 power rail on there. Very typical. You don't need as much power on these particular cards. So part of the power is coming in through the riser, 75 watt through the riser, and then we have I think these are like going to be rated for like 165 watts coming in through the top. So we're not even really maxing out what these power rails are even meant to do. You shouldn't be melting out your connector on there, guys. But these are the leaked images. Here is the cooler, very typical design setup on here. Vapor chamber with a cooling heat stack sitting right up on top of that for all your heat pipes on there, wrapping around, going through your cooler fin sections. So very typical of your Founders Edition, guys. So nothing different there. They might change, the tooling on the coolers a little bit, tweak it around as they start perfecting in their Founders Edition coolers to be optimized for, probably they'll have it down to where they offer just one cooler for each one of their model subsets. So if you got a 4070 and a 4070 Ti, they each get the same cooler. Unless they're just going to keep it as a big little design on the cooler setup on there, which is what they've been choosing to do so far, which to each their own. I would think it'd be easier just to have a singular cooler that you just, every, a 70 class GPU, no matter what, gets this one. I don't know if it, what the cost, the OpTech cost is on that on their end, to just do one singular cooler that's a little bit overpowered for one but perfect for the other, versus having a big little design set on there like they have now. But we're not the ones running a multi-billion-dollar company, right, guys? Yep, we're just plebs. It's like we shall know our place and buy the GPUs, right? So, I mean, these are going to be other leaks of other companies doing the same thing. So, we have Inno3D or PNY, and these models do not have the such a perfect C-shaped cut as the card above. So this is the Inno3D and PNY, guys. So you can see tooling differences on there. It's like you can sit there and make a singular PCB that you can grow on. It's like, I don't know if that's what they're planning on doing, or if it's just was cheaper to get the cut out of there and just get a square PCB and have all that's empty void. I would think that it sounds stupid to have that nice little crisp cut to where you're not wasting any space, like on the PNY card here. What the cost is for them to just cut that shorter and remove the holes and stuff like that. I have no clue. That is costs that are beyond my paycheck. 100%, guys. And if you guys are running Intel GPUs, know that there is a new driver in beta that is out for you. I know my man TechMan out there. He has his, I think it's an A770 or something like that. What up, New England Crypto? What up, Automatic Beats? What's going on, fellas? So if you guys are utilizing your Intel GPUs for you on your Intel motherboards, they do have a new update out for the drivers. Helps out if you're using it for any kind of gaming, of course. But there is supposed to be some fixes to their overclocking dashboard also. That's I'm thinking it's pretty nice about there. So using Arc Control Studio Capture with certain games may incorrectly generate multiple video files. That is a known issue. Using Arc Studio Capture with ABC codec may incorrectly use the HEVC codec. So if you guys have been having weird little issues like that, if you guys are, streaming on that Twitch, this will be some of the things that might help you out with that. Let's see here. System may hang while waking up from sleep. May need to power cycle the system for recovery. Looks like this is a known issue. Hopefully they have this resolved now with this new one. Blender may exhibit corruption while using certain texture nodes. But again, it's like gaming stuff that they're trying to get out so that there's usability, not for just us mining people, but this is going to be going across all of their graphical interfaces of any sort. And what's also nice too is right in time for Intel Panther Lake to feature third generation ZE GPU in here. So their new Panther Lake is going to be, I like the names that Intel uses. I'm not going to lie, really. So Panther Lake is going to have Arc GPUs built into it. So if you guys think that they're not going to continue to develop on these drivers to perfect them, stop being haters. They're just winding up on this, guys. I think that they're just winding up. Not that they're going to be like this powerhouse GPU, guys, or this amazing mining card. No. But I think that they will be a good contender. Hopefully, they stay into the lower tier range and make a great GPU for people on a budget. Make a great people who are on a budget and they would like to mine a little bit also. Because, I mean, these things might not be the most profitable things to mine on, but they still mine nonetheless, right? So, I mean, we can rest assured that, the Arc driver platform is going to continue to be built upon, and it hopefully it'll be continuously being better and better. And then to be expected to follow will be Lunar Lake, will be the next architecture that I think they're predicting out between next year, basically for next year. They're looking at Lunar Lake is going to be the next drop. Intel, I forget how many generations ahead they're always working on. So, if they're coming out with Lunar Lake next year, it's probably been in development for about 3 or 4 years. So let's just put it that way. All the technology we play with is already outdated and old. That's why it seems like you buy a new CPU and wait 6 months and it's outdated. This is why. I mean, back in the day it was worse. At least now they're giving you a year. So if you end up buying your CPU at the end of the year, your stuff's going to be outdated by the first of next year, type of deal. It's always the running joke in the crypto, no, not just crypto, but it's like you sneeze, there's a new miner out for crypto. It's like that's how it was whenever I first got involved. I mean, like, new miner here, new miner there. Oh, this one's better than this one. Oh, this one's specifically for AMD. This one's specifically for NVIDIA. Yeah, it was wild times. And then you get to see that with the hardware over, a couple of decades. Yeah. 5 fans. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Here, I'll show you. I will show you New England crypto since you're asking about that. Here it is. 5 fans. Yep. Read them and weep. 3 on the front and 2 on the top, hidden behind the mechanics wrench. That one, John Germain, I would say that one's like a dual-edged sword. I know, right? Right, New England's like, well, that's different. And I was just saying earlier too, like the fan that's all the way at the end, not furthest away from the GPU core, is got the pass-through radiators. So that fan that's above that is like useless. But yeah, it's definitely different. And that's where I say, John Jermaine, is like the price isn't great on there. And I think that's what it is. Like, you can have a lot of hash rate difficulty, right? You can have high hash rate. You can have high difficulty. But then you have to have the reward equal the security that they're trying to pay for. If the security cannot pay for the hash rate has to turn off. And then you sit there and you're in that paradox. Do you mine at a loss, or do you turn it off and take the what you would have paid for your electric bill and just bought Bitcoin directly? And that one, it's like so hard to tell people what you should and shouldn't do. I'm not going to be that person that's going to tell you this, that, or the other. I'm just going to tell you guys what I will do. If I at this point, I have to keep a specific amount of rigs on, no matter what. A specific amount of rigs always has to stay on in order to make sure that I've got enough power load to keep my price down. If I start turning off power, my price goes back up on electric. Sliding scale with the amount of power you utilize. And from what I understand, it's pretty much that way in a lot of places. The more you use, you can start qualifying for commercial or agricultural rates, and start dropping your power rate down. But it depends on where you live. Not all areas are like that, but a lot of them are. So you'd have to talk with your power company on that one if you can qualify for a commercial rate in a residential home. Some places will be like, that's a hard no. Other places are like, oh yeah, we don't even care. You want to use that much power? What are you doing? Oh, okay, yeah, no problem. Go for it. It's like, oh wow, cool. That's pretty much what it really boils down to. So it's like when it comes down to like mining and seeing that the difficulty is high, price came down. We all feel the effects of that with the dollar amount. Now, at the same time, has the payouts gone down? Because if your payouts have gone down and the price has gone down, then you see where your losses are. And now if your payouts stay the same, but your dollar amount's dropping with it, but the payout stays the same, then nothing other than price has changed. The difficulty was the same as it was before. It's just price action's different. But I do know that there is a lot of hash rate that jumped on the coins like Dynex and stuff because a lot of people were talking Dynex. And now everybody's like, oh yeah, that's profitable. Go mine it to death. Because there are still too many fiat miners here. That's the problem. There are way too many fiat miners. If they're, it's like I'm a person that is running it as a business. I have different goals, but there are still a lot of people that are at home. They're looking at this mining stuff as getting rich. I'm looking at it as this is my livelihood. So I'm hitting it from, you got two different perspectives. This is my livelihood versus somebody else that's profit chasing. It's like I'm going to sit there and take a calculated risk going, does it make sense to switch everything over to that next profitable coin? What's the spread on that? It's a 2% difference, and I might crash rigs changing it over. I'll stay right where I'm at for right now. And then you watch everybody, FOMO over to the next more profitable coin, and I'm sitting there staying there, and all of a sudden, whoop, the coin I'm mining now is now profitable again because everybody bailed off of that coin. The difficulty dropped back down. I start earning again, and you'll watch it just ebb and flow. Bam, your earnings are garbage. Bam, your earnings are awesome, and it just kind of flip flops back and forth. It happens whenever we're seeing people like scramble for what little profits that they think they're missing out on, and instead of looking at it going, oh, I'm gonna miss a penny a day for doing that. Is it worth it? No. But yeah, I mean, overall, the price itself of crypto needs to come up for all these altcoins to really be able to start paying adequately for the security that they're trying to have, right? You can't secure security for free. Period. Proof of work, right? So, and if you guys are looking to do any kind of custom water loops, guys, and you're wanting to use EK, I would suggest to start trying to get it done before it's April. Starting April, guys, EK water cooling products to be 8% more expensive starting next month, guys. So if you are on the fence about grabbing some water cooling stuff, now is the time to kind of, don't twiddle your thumbs too much longer. You're going to pay an 8% premium in a month. So do it now, or you're going to just keep it on air cooled. Now, there is that toss up of, do you want to go air cooled or should I water block it? You're not going to get huge differences on standard CPUs, standard and GPUs. Unless you got a case that's suffocating it to death, you're fine. It's like if you're mining on the CPU, you might get a little warmer on air cooled, maybe by like 1C. You're not talking huge differences. Trust me, I know. I've tested it both ways. Threadripper 1900X water block versus air cooled is a 3 Celsius difference. And I was using a Noctua cooler. So with a Noctua cooler, it was a 3 Celsius difference. Am I worried about a 3 Celsius difference? Not really. But did I go ahead and water block my sys setup anyway? Because this is my personal PC. I'm only doing it on here. I've got cheaper stuff over on the on my mining rig that I got. It's basically all Alpha Cool radiator setup for 2 Kingpin 4090s that I got a great deal for, and I wanted Kingpins, and I'm glad I got them now because EVJ's not making any more of these anymore. So, woohoo! I got a last of their kind, and I got 3 of them. So I'm happy. They're mining away. They should be. They'll live life very nicely, guys. He's like, I can swap coins in 30 seconds per rig. You're right. The ebb and flow when others leave my coin to mine the next profitable coin, my coin does better. Exactly. And for me, John, I don't have my rigs all here. I've got 4 rigs here. So if I want to sit there and monkey around with just 4 of my rigs, I can switch around 4 rigs, and if I crash them, it's not a problem. If I crash one of the rigs at the facility, I've got to get Mikkel involved because Mikkel becomes my extended finger to turn a rig on, turning a rig on and off. and he's got to drive a half an hour. So he has to waste an hour of his day in order to reboot one of my rigs in case, one of the rigs decides to hang the miner up when it reboots itself. We know how this all works. So, I mean, it sucks whenever, because of my situation, I don't want to sit there and start swapping rigs over unless Mikkel is sitting at the facility just in case. I've crashed the rigs like a bunch of times in the last week, swapping stuff around a little bit. So I mean, there for the rigs at home, I can swap them around in 30 seconds. And if I crash the rig, oh no, My other rigs I don't have that luxury with, so I'm a little hesitant on doing all of that. And you remember how I was sitting there and talking about over here where the US dollar index is losing strength, right? There was a reason why I was bringing this up, outside of trying to show off that, Bitcoin's going up. Yeah. Besides showing that off, I was actually coming over to really show off this. So as the Federal Reserve, with Biden, Janet Yellen, the Federal Reserve Treasury Secretary, they are all saying that they will 100% secure the people who were holding their money in the failed banks. They are now launching an app. FedNow, instant payment services. Why does this trouble me? Call me old-fashioned. Whatever. FedNow, instant payment service is... See, the government took over these banks. They are now national banks. They've been nationalized. And now they're doing their repayment through a nationalized payment structure. This is how you usher in CBDC. Right now it's, FedNow we'll fix this, And then they go turn around and people like it. They keep rolling it out. People don't pull their money out of it. They're just using it as if it was their normal day-to-day bank after that, right? And then somebody gets hacked. Oh no, we need to be something a little bit more secure. And then they offer they offered the CBDC token behind it with a private blockchain to secure it. And they transition to a completely top-down controlled cryptographic currency. And they nationalize all the banks. Think about it this way. I mean, this is my tinfoil hat of the day. Tinfoil hat alert, guys. Tinfoil hat alert. But this is my tinfoil hat, and I will wear it proud, damn it. No, just kidding. But if Jerome Powell continues to raise interest rates, it's going to cause more banks to collapse. And we're already starting to see the cracks in the dam, right? The dam's about ready to break. All of these banks are down anywhere from 1% all the way up to, blowing up. We have some at 7, 10%, 11%, that they are negative. Their price of change is like huge. These are multi-billion-dollar markets that are going to be eviscerated. These people have been printing up money and giving sweetheart loans. A lot of these places are going to blow up. The cracks in the dam are appearing, and I don't know if the government is just prepared to just nationalize the banks, Because once you nationalize the banks, you control the means of production. It's like in order to control the means of production, you got to control the energy. And if you're controlling the money that purchased the energy, you in essence control the energy. So you in essence control the means of production. And then from there, the government can do whatever they want. They want to put your money on a time limit. Oh, we need you to spend your money or you'll lose it. Oh, we froze you out of your bank account because we liked some of the Canadian policies that protesting is now illegal, and that if you protest the government, then you don't get to use our government-issued currency. It is a privilege to use our currency, and if you want to protest us, that means you don't want our currency. You see how you push back? It's very easy. Expiring money. Not permissionless. Exactly. This is going to push more people into that sweet, busy Bitcoin, guys. And that's why you will never see me, amongst a few other things, trying to shill other poop coins. I'm not going to shill exchanges. I'm not going to shill other coins. It's not going to happen. I will never tell you guys, oh, you need to go buy X, Y, and Z unless it's gold, silver, and Bitcoin. Outside of that, no. No. These are great times to buy gold, silver, and Bitcoin. That's it. Outside of that, you're gambling. You're playing in the casino gulag with assets that are overvalued for their market. And whenever this dam breaks with all of these banks, we're going to see it take a hit in the crypto market, guys. They cannot sit there and insure all the money. The top 10% is all they can insure without bankrupting the country. Do you get it now? If you're a small little guy and you are banking at a big bank, you should already be getting your money out of there. If you have to bank somewhere, you should be doing it at a community bank. Because a community bank is funded by the what? Community. So community banks usually survive in an economic downturn because they are sheltered by the community that's using it. They're small little local banks. Period. They are more resilient than the big guys. So if you are banking with the big guys at this point, like if you're in the military, like, Federal Navy, I wouldn't be banking there. Any of these, Wells Fargo, Morgan Stanley, Royal Bank of Canada, let's see here, Citigroup, let's see, U.S. Bank Corp, PNC Financial Service Group, let's see here, JP Morgan, Bank of America. Just saying, you want to bank at these places, your money is at risk. These people have exposure to mega bonds. And if they keep raising interest rates, a lot of these places are going to go belly up. And it will be a contagion that the government was not going to be able to hide without turning each and every one of us into slaves. They will have to go through and basically say that we now work for the government 100%. Oh man, you're lucky if they give you that 70 cents at the end of the year. Shit. I know they're making millions on the backside, and what's gonna be their downfall is Jerome Powell raising interest rates to get inflation at that 2% level. As he brings that inflation back to 2%, the banks fail. So eventually, Jerome Powell will stop raising interest rates. We're going to have a banking crisis, And we will go right back into, you guessed it, quantitative easing. You cannot have a good market if you're sitting there making the rate of borrowing cheaper and cheaper and cheaper. That is not a strong economy. That is a weak economy. A weak economy doesn't have the ability to pay the interest back. A strong economy can. Just saying. Just saying. And these banks are going to find out very quickly that they have been drinking the Kool-Aid from the government and the whole time, and they should have been buying gold, silver, and Bitcoin from day one. Day one. This is going to be a hard lesson to these guys. And one that I'm going to be very happy to sit back and watch as the tales of the banking failure, the banking corruption, and the government's ineptness to be able to stop the imperial loom by increasing the debt ceiling. It's not a debt ceiling if you keep on raising it. Just say that you argue about spending more money than you should. It's not a debt ceiling if you're just gonna, inflate it away. But yeah, I mean that's just kind of how it all boils down to. It's like we all got to be careful with these banks. I don't know about you guys. I wouldn't be trusting these big banks. I don't know about you guys. We cannot. I mean, I don't know about you, but I can't afford to be sitting there banking with one of these big guys and worrying about my money. Anybody who's got a half a brain will be pulling their money out of these big banks. Anybody with a half a brain, half of a brain cell, it would be able to figure out that this is all gonna end very badly, and this is just the beginning. They keep on printing money. This is gonna keep on happening. They cannot just give money away for free without putting us into hyperinflation. They cannot bring the interest rate back down to zero. That's hyperinflation territory. That's what Venezuela did. We cannot go down that pathway. We'll be the richest third world country in the world if they do that. So I wish big banks would fail. My mortgage would disappear. Yeah, no kidding. No kidding. No kidding. I don't have much of a mortgage left, so for me it wouldn't hurt me that bad to have to pay it still or not, And then I like to end things with a laugh. I really do. I try to like end the stream on a positive note, and here it is, guys. YouTubers who promoted FTX slapped with a $1 billion class action lawsuit. Does that mean Jim Cramer from CNBC is going to get hit with this too? Because that mofo was sitting there shilling FTX on prime time and on YouTube. So I hope that CNBC and Jim Cramer both get hit into this class action on that one. This is why this guy doesn't promote trash. I don't shill shitcoins. I don't shill exchanges in any way, shape, or form. The only time you're going to hear me sit there and go, Coinbase is easy to start with. You want to buy just Bitcoin and not have to worry about anything else? I would be personally looking at Swan Bitcoin. You see that? I still didn't tell you what to do. I'm just telling you what my thoughts are and what I've done. Versus telling people FTX is awesome and you should invest into them and use them as an exchange. No. Anybody that was sitting there shilling this garbage should be sitting there in this class action lawsuit. Now, does that mean the class action lawsuit's going to actually pay out? Does it mean that the class action lawsuit's going to amount to anything other than a frivolous case? No. It doesn't mean that anybody's going to get any money. It just means that they're going to try, because there's a lot of people that lost a lot of money. that are really pissed off right now. So they are willing, they are lashing out at any place that they heard that FTX was good. And if they do that with, if now here's the other aspect of it. Now one aspect, I don't think it's going to have anything's going to amount to it. You can't hold people accountable for stuff that they had no knowledge of. You have to prove intent, and you have to prove that they knew was that the collapse was imminent. So you have to be able to align those two things for a class action lawsuit. A lot of these people aren't going to know, they didn't know insider stuff. Unless you could prove that they knew insider stuff, you can't prove intent. The other aspect of this, okay? Let's say this class action lawsuit with the craziness that we live in today actually goes through. And of all these people that were promoting FTX get slapped with a cumulative $1 billion class action lawsuit. What does that mean moving forward? Well, it sucks for everybody that promoted FTX. They're gonna get hit with a hefty fine. They're gonna have to pay back a lot of people. Sucks for them. And then 2, that opens up Pandora's box for frivolous lawsuits towards every crypto company that rug pulls or scams or drops drastically in price overnight. If any of these companies are US based in any way, shape, or form, that means that if a class action lawsuit like this can actually go through, then the crypto space in general is in danger of being basically have frivolous lawsuits to death, just because price action was not as they thought was intended. Some of these coins, yes, they'll get hit with misleading investors because they're, oh yeah, we're gonna go up in price. We'll be triple by next year, and they never do, right? That's investor fraud, misleading investors. Yes, there's already laws on the books for that stuff, but there's a good reason why I don't promote stuff on my channel, because I don't want to get wrapped up into any of this garbage. This is the stuff that me and I know Mikkel, we both try to do our due diligence to stay out of stupid little messes like this where we're outright promoting stuff. Me and Crypto Mikkel, we don't promote stuff to you guys. We tell you what we're doing. Not that we want you to do what, don't do as I do, type of deal. This is what I'm doing. Here's the information I'm going off of. Do with it as you will. I'm not going to tell you guys to do anything. It's like I would never tell anybody to. I'm anti-exchanges already. If you leave your coin on an exchange, it's not yours. And FTX is proving that to many, 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 many people that the Bitcoin was never theirs. It was vaporware. It was a bunch of stuff on a computer program that meant nothing to them. Because as of right now, they can't pull it out. Anybody that was using FTX got burned for the thing that a lot of us OG Bitcoiners have been saying this whole time. Stop leaving your coins on exchanges. You leave your coins on exchanges, consider it gone. And whenever you put it into your wallet and it's not gone, just be very thankful that it's still there. You know what I'm saying? So you'll never hear me promoting exchanges, even for that ridiculous period. I don't know how new you guys are. Some of you guys are new, some of you aren't. But whenever they were doing the leverage trading was going like wildfire, and people were getting in trouble for promoting these exchanges. Again, I don't promote that stuff. I won't shill that stuff ever. Just because, I believe in not your private keys. If you don't have the private keys, you don't own the Bitcoin. Period. Yeah. Oh, buddy. I was wondering if anybody was going to bring that up. Yep, BitBoy is not part of just one lawsuit. He's part of 2 lawsuits, and he's having an absolute meltdown on the Twitterverse. So Twitter, he is having an absolute meltdown on going, Bitcoin's next. If you think they're not, you're stupid. They're coming after Bitcoin. They're going to come after Bitcoin's mining. They're coming after all of your stuff too. And anybody who doesn't think that is stupid. It's like, oh my Lord. BitBoy don't know nothing. You know, and I feel very bad because I met that guy in 2019. He was not like this when I met him. Like if he was like this, he wasn't, that personality hadn't come out of him yet. If he was already like that in private. His outward personality had nothing to do with that. After I met him, he went down the complete shilling circle. Like, he got his taste of money, I think. And it changed him. And now we get to see the ramifications of somebody who's been getting paid by shitcoins to promote garbage. It's like, I don't want him to be, harmed. But if he gets sued back to square one... If he gets sued back to square one, in other words, from the moment he accepted shitcoin shilling money till now, all that money he's made, if he got sued back to that equilibrium point where he got himself corrupted, I think that's a good balance point for him, and hopefully it'll re-humble him. Because that man has gone off the deep end with what he thinks. Because, he is hot and heavy in shitcoins. And it's like, I don't care if you guys are playing in the market. Just know that you can lose it at any point in time. You're gambling. And the technology is beta testing right now at best. How many protocols do I have to see where I go into their Discord and the devs are going, don't nobody send coin. The chain is making forks of its own right now. We have 400 forks of the chain, and we're trying to see if we can get the nodes to resync. We're restarting nodes now to see if we can figure out what happened. And then they reset it. Everything goes right again. Well, we're looking over the code now. It's beta testing at best. So, just know the world you're playing with. And Gary Gensler had already publicly stated that everything but Bitcoin is a security. Everything but Bitcoin is a security. Don't mince his words with this one. BitBoy thinks they are. He is. It's not going to be the SEC that's going to come after this. Maybe the legislators can try to do something with Bitcoin mining side of it. And, we can leverage a new tax on you for high energy consumption. But they're not going to be able to target it to one industry. In other words, if they put that legislation on the books, it's going to be arbitrarily applied to any company utilizing high electricity. They're not going to go after Amazon. They cannot single out and target a specific industry for electric usage. It's not going to happen. It's unlawful. It really is. They're not allowed to sit there and single out an industry and hurt them just because of your legislation. It's one of those things of you're either applying this to everybody equally or nobody. How it's going to boil down. So the whole BitBoy crying, I just sit back and laugh. For a person who has been shilling shitcoins, shilling exchanges, and giving price predictions on shitcoins. He deserves the mess that he has created along with anybody else that's sitting there shilling the same way. If you sit there and tell people this is an amazing opportunity, and you don't tell anybody what the drawbacks are behind it, you are a shitcoin shilling promoter, and you deserve everything you're about to get. Unfortunately. So, be interesting what goes forward with this. Seeing what happens to BitBoy, see how much more he's gonna cry. I've stopped following a lot of these shillers. A lot of them, I just can't. A lot of these crypto influencers went from doing analysis on these coins to promoting them. I don't know of any of the people that used to do coin analysis that is not doing promotion now of coins. Every one of them does it, unfortunately. And whenever you go, hey, what about these issues with that platform? Oh, that's why you have to do your own research. But you are part of that research. Oh, that's not what I'm focusing on. What are you trying to focus in on? Oh, I'm trying to get everybody to get in on this. It's a great opportunity. But they are using you as their reference. So you're misleading people so that you can pump your bags. Excellent. I shall unfollow now. It's like, I just don't want to have that. I just don't want to be associated with people that are just blindly shilling stuff, or just shilling stuff that I have a feeling is something is wrong with it. It's like, if I don't get that feeling that it's like, oh, this is, you got Bitcoin, perfect. Litecoin, perfect. Dogecoin, perfect. But I'm not going to tell any one of you guys to sit there and get involved with anything other than Bitcoin, because anything else has inherent risks. See, I talked about Litecoin and Dogecoin, inherent risks. Bitcoin doesn't have those inherent risks that Litecoin and Dogecoin have. Period. So that's why I just don't deal with shilling or anything like that. I've had coins come up to me and ask me to shill them. I just won't do it. It's like I just watched BitBoy for the crypto comedy relief. It's not even comedy when it's sad. He's like the sad clown. Who wants to see the sad clown? So we are over that 1 hour marker. We've had our little chuckle now. That's why I don't do any kind of shilling over here. I'm not going to be involved with no lawsuit. Who's got 2 thumbs and is not being sued? This guy. All right. Too funny. So thank you everybody for being here. All that good stuff. Smash that Lizzie like button, subscribe, hit the bell notification. Smash the FA in the Chizity chat, guys, because you guys are rated F for freaking awesome. Yo, yeah, that's right. Yeah, Nemesis coin is guaranteed to go up in memeness. It'll be the epic memes. FA, yeah, everybody drop those FAs in the Chizity chat. And if you could do me a favor, I'm gonna try this like new thing, okay? And I need you guys to help me out. We'll probably have to do this for like a week straight, if you could. It's like a small little ask from me to you. So whenever I end this video, whenever I end the stream, right, and it goes up and it has all the other different YouTube videos on the screen, click on one of those and then click off of that. I don't care what you click on. Just click on one of those and then click off of that video. There's something in the YouTube analytics that has just started showing for me for the first time. Like they added something in there, and it's called click through. So I want to see if maybe for 1 week, if I can get the click through rate up a little higher on all the videos, that I might be able to get my videos promoted a little bit more through YouTube. It's just a small experiment. I want to see if it makes a difference in a 1 week time. You'll see whenever I end the video, it'll come up with like a whole block of, don't just turn off YouTube. Give it just a little bit, let it end, and then just click on one of the ones that YouTube suggests to you. It's called click-through rate. So I'm trying to see if that makes any different in the algorithm, and I need you guys to help me make that for the experiment. It's literally an experiment. So I'm going to go ahead and end it here, guys. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Thank you for anybody that is willing to participate in my little experiment here. So with that being said, peace out. Stay savage. May your watts be low, your hash rate be high, and if you'd like to have your rigs hosted at the Family Mine, get into the Patreon, links down below. If you can't afford that, or you're just not, you're only going to mine at your house, that is fine. That's cool. I'm not going to hate. I would really like it if you were mining with us, but I'm not going to hate. But you can join the Discord. Links down below. It's free to join that. So with that being said, thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one. Yo.